The federal electric vehicle tax credit, worth up to $7,500 for new EVs and $4,000 for used EVs, is going goodbye. It is officially ending September 30th of 2025. And for more than a decade, these incentives have played a central role in artificially propping up EV sales, coaxing buyers toward electric cars with taxpayer-funded subsidies. The One Big Beautiful Bill phased them out, and the marketplace is preparing for a major shift, and we keep hearing brands every single day converting back to gas and hybrid because that's what you want. So let the free market reign. Let the free market be just that, free. Buyers should buy what they want and not what the states or the federal government wants them to buy. For buyers, the deadline creates a very clear choice. Purchase an electric vehicle now and secure the last available credits, or wait and face a market where EVs must compete without federal assistance. I'm going to say we're looking at about 4% or less vehicles that'll be electric. Although others say otherwise, here in the US, it's going to be under 4%. It's just not pulling that kind of demand from you, the consumer. But for dealers and automakers, the end of this program marks the beginning of a new chapter in how vehicles are marketed, priced, and sold in the United States. This is actually good news for everyone. The EV tax credit was originally introduced to jumpstart demand for electric vehicles and help manufacturers reach economies of scale and entice car buyers to consider an electric vehicle. Automakers like Tesla, General Motors, and Nissan were among the first to benefit, as subsidies encouraged early adopters to experiment with new technology. Over time, the credit became a standard talking point for dealerships and a cornerstone of the federal government and some state government policies aiming at accelerating the transition to EVs and the goal to eliminate gas and diesel-powered vehicles. Obviously, that didn't happen. But the credits also sparked controversy. Critics argued they disproportionately benefited wealthier households, who were more likely to afford electric vehicles even without the subsidies and actually be able to take advantage of this tax credit because they made enough to offset the tax credit. Many Americans pointed out that taxpayers who never purchased an electric vehicle were footing the bill for those who did. And by 2024, as EV sales slowed despite the ongoing credit, questions grew louder about whether the program was delivering meaningful results, which I'm one of the people that said it wasn't. Before I tell you why this matters, here's a quick word from our video sponsor. It turns out that the key to losing weight and keeping it off is not carbs or fat or even probiotic-rich foods. The end game is having a healthy weight, more energy, and long, healthy life. And it comes down to a specific switch you can flip in your body to flush out unnecessary calories. Dr. Gundry calls this caloric bypass. He's seen thousands of people with dramatically improved health, even at the age of 50 or beyond. And this includes losing weight, getting tons more energy, and returning to the good health they had in their youth, once they simply addressed this one key to better health. Not only that, this is actually associated with improving digestion, stronger joints and muscles, smoother skin, and healthier lives, meaning it could be the key to a happy life. Dr. Stephen Gundry has lost 70 pounds himself using his research and has kept the weight off for over 20 years and counting. His digestive issues are gone, his health is fantastic, and he feels younger and healthier today than he did in his 40s. His video has been watched by over 20 million people, and you can watch and learn more about it at thehealthyfat.com/car. It's linked at the bottom of this video. He'll teach you exactly how he has kept off his weight for free at thehealthyfat.com/car. Under the One Big Beautiful Bill, the federal EV tax credit ends September 30th, 2025, and the charging credit also ends at the end of the year. But after that date, buyers will no longer be able to claim the tax credit up to $7,500 on new EVs and $4,000 on used EVs, or a $1,000 credit for home chargers, like I said, at the end of the year. This change eliminates the point of sale rebates that dealers have leaned on heavily to close EV sales. The immediate impact is urgency. Dealers are moving quickly to advertise last chance opportunities for buyers to lock in the tax credit. Automakers with qualifying models are pushing aggressive campaigns to clear inventory before the deadline because they're not making any money on these and they need to get them off the lots. And dealers fear that they will be stuck with a fleet of electric cars and minimal sales, of course. And buyers who act now could actually save thousands of dollars. But once October arrives, those savings vanish. Without the federal support, the EV marketplace faces a test. Will demand hold steady, or will sales cool once the financial incentive disappears? Industry analysts are divided. I'm not. My analysis, I see a sharp decline in EV adoption, especially among cost-conscious buyers. I expect the demand to be below 4% purchase rate in the US. Others believe that the market will gradually stabilize as more affordable EV models reach production and as states continue to offer their own incentives. Of course, California and New York are leading that fight. But the issue is battery costs, increased insurance rates, and a huge price escalation in electricity prices for everyone. My electric bill personally has doubled, and it's not just because of the lights in the studio. It's costing everybody more just to turn on your lights, and that makes electric vehicles more expensive. Dealers are preparing for the possibility that EV sales will slow way down. They will, and many are already shifting focus to hybrids and traditional gas-powered vehicles, which remain central to American driving habits. There is another way to save some money on a new vehicle. If you're a new car buyer and auto loan interest deduction under the One Big Beautiful Bill will actually be in your favor and has become a more important sales tool than the expiring EV tax credits. And if you're smart, you can layer them together and save even more money. Now, one overlooked consequence of the EV credits ending is the impact on manufacturer strategy. Automakers have spent years aligning production to maximize eligibility, ensuring that the vehicles meet the North American assembly requirements to qualify for the credit. With that incentive gone, companies will have the greater flexibility in where and how they produce EVs. Car companies took massive losses on every vehicle they sold. Ford lost $40,000 on every Lightning truck they sold, and other brands took equal losses on each of the vehicles they sold. This is not the way to do business. It's caused car makers to increase costs on their other vehicles that they make, and it makes it harder for people to afford new cars. That's why cars have gotten more expensive. At the same time, the One Big Beautiful Bill's focus on U.S. assembled vehicles for loan interest deduction keeps domestic manufacturing in the spotlight. Buyers financing new American assembled vehicles, whether it be electric or hybrid or gas-powered, stand to gain valuable tax savings even after September 30th. In effect, the policy is shifting the incentive away from what type of vehicle you buy and towards where that vehicle is built. For consumers, timing matters. Buyers who are serious about purchasing an EV should act before the deadline to capture the last available credit. However, if you buy an electric vehicle and you don't lease it and you try to trade it in down the road, you're going to be quite surprised when the dealers don't want them and they're very hard to sell. And you can look at websites like iSeeCars and see a massive drop in the values on electric vehicles, especially used ones. Now, factors such as charging infrastructure, battery replacement costs, and resale value remain significant considerations. So be careful before you buy one. I highly suggest you lease an electric vehicle. Resale value on used electric cars is just plain not good. Some households may find greater value in waiting. As the market adjusts, automakers may respond with price cuts, new financing options, or even incentives of their own to sustain demand. Dealers will be very motivated to move EVs off their lots if inventory slows, especially if they start packing up in the lot and new vehicles start coming in that are not electric. And this is potentially creating some better deals. Leasing would be your smartest move at this point. The phase out of EV tax credits is more than a budgetary or political change. It's a signal of a broader shift in bipartisan policy. For years, Washington used subsidies to push the automaker and the market toward electrification. If they failed to meet the numbers, they were fined billions of dollars. Now the emphasis is moving toward empowering buyers with broader tax relief, such as the new loan interest deduction, while reducing federal dependency on technology-specific incentives. Whether this results in a more balanced marketplace or a setback for EV adoption remains to be seen. What is certain is that the market will now have to stand on its own. Automakers that can deliver reliable, affordable vehicles that do not rely on subsidies and can produce what consumers want, that's the winner. September 30th is a clear turning point. For buyers, it is the last chance to claim thousands of dollars in federal support for an EV purchase. For automakers and dealers, it's the end of a crutch that has shaped sales strategies for over a decade. And for the broader economy, It marks the beginning of a new approach, one that rewards American manufacturers and consumer choice rather than federal pressure for a single technology or type of propulsion. Can the EV market maintain momentum without the subsidies, especially in North America? What is for certain is we have a big win for customer choice. If you like this video, give it a like and subscribe for more videos like this, and check out our car review channel, Car Smarts. You can support me by buying me a cup of coffee, and if you want even more content, check out the links in the description. I'm Lauren Fix. Thank you so much for watching.